What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Peacock's new series, Teacup. Let's rock this. Okay, so I've already watched the entire 8 episodes of this show's first season, and there are parts about it that I enjoyed, and there are parts about it that didn't quite work well with me. First of all, what you need to understand is that even though they market this as a horror series, the horror elements are probably just about 40% of the show. The rest of it are more of a science fiction slash body swap thriller. Now, Peacock had asked me to not spill major spoilers, but the review embargo lifts on the same exact night as this show's premiere, so I'll try not to be too cryptic about it anymore. The first few episodes are the most intense, when shit hits the fan and all this bloody gruesome stuff unfolds and you're like, what the hell is going on? This is crazy! But once the reveal happens, the intensity kind of subsides a little, mainly because it's back to the usual genre tropes. But did they make a somewhat interesting spin on it? I would say so, but I would hardly call it groundbreaking, let alone mind-blowing. But the show does have some qualities about itself that are worth noting. Created and written by Ian McCulloch, executive produced by James Wan, and based on the New York Times best-selling novel Stinger by Robert McCammon, Teacup follows a disparate group of people in rural Georgia who must come together in the face of a mysterious threat in order to survive. Starring Yvonne Strahovski, Scott Speedman, Chasky Spencer, Kathy Baker, Boris McGiver, Caleb Dolden, Emile Bier, Rob Morgan, and Luciano LaRue. You know what? This whole setting of family and friends being stuck in a farm kind of reminds me of The Walking Dead Season 2, where the characters on that show spent weeks living in Herschel's farm. Remember that one? That's what Teacup reminds me of. And again, since the review embargo lifts on the same exact night as the premiere, I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying this, but one of the things that's cool about Teacup is that the way that the characters die or grotesquely split open kinda pays homage to John Carpenter's The Thing, which is not 100% equivalency, but you can kinda tell that that is where some of its inspiration came from, which is totally awesome in my opinion. Now, the way in which the mystery is structured and the way in which they build up the suspense, it's mostly effective, but the pacing is a bit touch and go at times. And some of the character development or the characters' relational dilemmas, like the marital affair, for example, are kind of done haphazardly, and they don't really connect well with the mystery at hand. Some of the episodes are spine-chilling, some of the episodes are sluggish, some of the episodes kind of meander in search of a purpose. The sense of urgency or the sense of fight or flight could have been a little bit more consistent. The last few episodes, when it's just about the so-called alien assassin jumping from one body to the next, now that is when the show is at its most pulse-pounding point. But like I said earlier, it's only scary at the beginning. The rest of it feels more like a thriller. The visual effects are probably this show's weakest link. With the exception of the characters' gnarly deaths, the whole rainbow gooey liquid and that colorful alien tree branch, whatever the fuck that is, the quality looks cheap and cartoony, like something you would see on Sci-Fi Channel. Thankfully, this show does have some interesting cinematography that kind of makes up for some of its other elements or technical aspects that frankly look visually subpar. So yeah, overall I give Teacup the rating of 3.5 out of 5. It's a worth watching or watchable survival thriller drama if you can look past some of its wobbly components. By the end of it, it does make me want to see where they would take the story next. That is, if the show gets renewed. So we'll see.